A tour of PCSchool Student Management Software's eForm developments. eForms is a form generating tool that ensures that schools will never manually put a form in a pigeonhole again. The system enables the user to create their own flexible form for any function. These forms can then be exposed in the various portals for caregivers, staff, or students. Forms can be pushed to various groups of individuals via email, based on subjects studied or any other criteria within the database. These forms provide the user with an embedded link. Upon clicking on the hyperlink, the user is taken to the form for their completion. Once completed, that form is passed through powerful workflows that will take that form to various decision makers throughout the decision-making process. Upon completion of the form will be returned to the originator, advising of the outcome. Schools are able to analyse logs where eForms are pushed via email to establish which users have opened the link and, in fact, which users have carried on to complete and submit the eForm. eForms exposed in the notifications panel of teacher interfaces ensure a nag factor, that once a form is submitted, it will remain on the notification screen until that form is dealt with by the teacher. Following is an example of a number of forms. These forms have been developed for the staff portal. For example, leave applications. Here, a simple form with embedded hyperlink enabling the staff member to fill in the detail. Once that form is submitted, it will be passed to various workflow decision makers. For example, immediate line managers, timetable supervision cover coordinators, and eventually the pay office. eForms previously submitted can be reviewed and edited for resubmission where required. Using eForms to capture database updates. Fields within the eForm can be data bound, and as such, that data can be displayed to the user for modification. Upon modification, the eForm is submitted to the data manager, who would review the changed information and then save that data. Within the eForm, it is possible to embed fields that require files to be uploaded, or decision sections of the eForm that require specific users along the workflow chain to acknowledge receipt of the eForm and action upon its content. Using eForms to record hazard identification. Here, an eForm can exist in the staff portal. Upon the event of an accident or a workplace health and safety issue, staff can complete the eForm. eForms can contain embedded links to take users to other documents, decisions within the eForm are controlled by decision makers. It is only after decisions have been made that the eForm will be passed to the next person in the workflow. eForms used for near-miss and injury investigation reports. Provide embedded image markup. Here, an image can be displayed to the user, enabling that user to identify in the image a particular location where something may have happened. That image in turn will be saved along with the eForm, securing that information for future reference. Here we see an image being marked up to show the points of injury. Via workflow, that eForm will then travel to subsequent people along the workflow chain. For example, the HR manager or the workplace health and safety manager. Teachers using eForms for staff excursion approval, navigating their way through the plethora of information required for workplace health and safety associated with excursions. These forms are pre-constructed to suit the school to capture the information required for specific target groups. The ability to embed into forms, links to downloaded forms. Upon completion of such forms, these may be uploaded back into the eForm. Once an eForm has been submitted in such way, it will pass to the immediate line manager of that teacher, for example, the subject coordinator, for approval of the field trip. Providing it passes through that section of the workflow, it will go to the daily organiser to organise covers, and then finally through to the bursar or other people designated in the eForm. An example of an eForm structured here for when a student is leaving the school. This form, through its workflow, will take this form to various sections of the school, for example, the library, sports department, etc., to ensure that all details associated with the leaving student have been completed. The form will also be passed to the caregiver to acknowledge the fact that the child is leaving. Forms for work requests within the organisation. Here, a teacher may submit a form, pass it through the workflow to the caretaker or maintenance staff. Upon completion of the form, and in fact the work, then this form will return to the originator, advising them of the outcome. eForms also caters for a guest form, which can be published on a website for any individual to download and complete. Such guest eForms may be data bound if required, for example, in an enrolment process. Here we see an enrolment eForm. Guest users are invited to complete the form, which in turn will be submitted to the data entry person within the school. The form can be checked, validated, at which time the data will be immediately saved into the database, creating an enrolment within the system. The forms cater for an agreement to terms for the upload of various pieces of information or documents where required for proof of identity or proof of citizenship. These forms are readily uploaded into the eForm. Upon upload, the form is automatically saved to the document management system within PCSchool. So the form is always available to administration staff. Where desired, forms may include a payment section, in this case a voluntary payment of up to $50. Should the applicant wish to pay this, then they will be immediately taken to a secure payment portal where they may pay the $50. Upon such payment, the form can be submitted. Here we see another use of a guest eForm, in this case to trap individuals requesting tickets for a fun run. Here we see someone requesting 2 adult tickets at $15 each and 2 student tickets at $5 each. eForms support shopping carts. Therefore, those figures can be calculated to give a total amount owing. Details of the applicants can be tracked. Prior to the form being submitted, the user is required to pay the $40. Upon payment through our secure payment portal, the form will be submitted. Once that nomination has been accepted by the school, the nominee will receive the eForm back, indicating that it's passed through the desired process. Looking now at eForms in the parent portal and some examples. Absent notifications. The eForm is selected via the parent, filling in the base information, and that eForm will then in turn pass seamlessly through to the absentee administration officer. The absence will be entered into PCSchool, and the submitter of the form will be notified of the same. Here we see an embedded link within the eForm to take the parent off to the attendance policy of the school. eForms used for an annual student consent form. These types of forms are pushed out to parents via email. Parents complete the form, giving various approvals, and the form is resubmitted into the administration. Many of these fields are data bound, and responses to the questions are trapped within the student information record. A reminder that the form is flexible in format and in content. The data that is trapped is at the discretion of the school. Here we see in this page parents giving permission for student photos to be published or to be used only within in-school publications. This data is immediately written back into the student record under photo privacy. The value of data binding. eForms to update student medical action plans. This form enables the parent to quickly submit a new document of the action plan for that student. This medical plan can be uploaded by the parent and is immediately saved into document management within PCSchool, making it immediately available to all teachers associated with that student on a needs-to-know basis. Forms can be pushed out to parents of a particular group, for example, those students in the geography class of Year 10, for parents to give permission to attend field trips and the like, and to update base information with regard to emergency contacts or special conditions. These forms can be pushed to a select group of parents. Upon submission, this form will pass through a workflow and can travel back to the specific teacher that will be taking that excursion. Dynamic controllers, such as caregivers, subject coordinators, subject teachers, can be embedded into eForms. For example, if a student was submitting work or a query to a specific teacher, the eForm is aware of the student submitting the form, and as such would provide them with a list of their subject teachers so they could select the relevant teacher. Likewise, controllers can include caregivers, deans, form teachers, in which case an eForm submitted that needs to go to one of these individuals for a decision to be made will be automatically passed to the correct individual based on the student record. Controllers can be based on a role. For example, a role may include guidance officers within the school. A teacher submitting an eForm would then be presented with a list of those officers. Selecting the desired officer would ensure that the form would then pass through the workflow to that specific person. So here, selecting counsellors, when that form is constructed, a list of the counsellors within the school based on the roles set in the staff file would ensure selection of one of the correct recipients of that form. PCSchool, your complete student management package.